Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Friday Quickies with Dina Rico. I'm in the Creativity Cave. I'm so excited to share with you the genius that is Vellum. Vellum is such a cool thing. We have it in our catalog. It comes in a package like this. There's 20 sheets and it is cardstock weight, so it's kind of thicker, which is really cool and gives it a lot of awesome properties. My favorite thing about Vellum is that it's see-through, but not clear like a transparency sheet would be or a window sheet. So I just love the subtle effects that you can create with Vellum. So let me show you because I have all kinds of stuff here. First of all, this is just a fun card, and all I did was put some vellum over this printed paper to just tone down the paper a little bit. I love that you can stamp white on it. In fact, I kind of couldn't stop myself from stamping white on my vellum today, so you're going to see a lot of that in my cards. But how cute is this? Same thing here. I made this adorable card, and there's vellum on top of the layer of DSP here as well that you can see. If you are a Creativity Cave VIP, I'm going to make this card and post it on our Creativity Cave VIP Facebook page. So check that out. If you're not a VIP, go to my blog and find out how. It's so easy. You just got to order. And you can get all kinds of benefits. But how flippin' cute is this? OMG. Seriously. Okay, another cute card that I made is this really pretty vellum paper. This is the vellum stack that is a celebration choice. And I love how pretty this printed vellum is. It's so cute. I used my Festive Flower Builder Punch to punch out all of these leaves, and then I put them together, and I will actually show how to do this card too on my VIP page as well, because it's not hard, but there's a few tricks to it that are kind of cool, and it is totally awesome. Oh my gosh. So I loved this card because it was just fun. And the other thing is there's a lot going on here, but it's not a thick card. It's nice and flat and skinny, which is very cool. Okay, this card is really neat because I took and embossed with my vellum. So let me show you really quick how to do that. I'm going to grab a scrap of vellum that I have sitting here. And what I did is I used my little poker pad, which of course is gone because I'm filming, and that is Murphy's Law, right? Nope, here I found it. Okay, so I'm going to put my little poker pad down first, and then I'm going to place this is the flower collection framelits. I'm going to place the cutting side down, and then I'll put my cardstock over the top. And like I said, this is just a scrap of vellum that I'm using for this process. And then I have just a stylus tool, and I can go around and score or emboss, or whatever you want to call this, emboss. You know, when you shoot a video, you kind of like lose your entire vocabulary, which is why I don't always sound like the most intelligent person. I apologize. It's the camera. It adds 10 pounds and takes down at least 10 IQ points, I'm telling you. Okay, so you can just keep going around like this, and then you get this really cool effect. You can also do this with some of our framelits, like, you know, the one that says, hello. Ha! How cool is that? So it's really fun to play with this vellum because of that impression you get. In fact, I also ran it through an embossing folder. This is the Flutterby's embossing folder. I haven't put this, I'm not sure which side I like better, but I haven't made a card out of this yet, but I just wanted to show you that you can emboss too, and it's very cool. Okay, so back to my card. I did that under here all the way around, and then I put the coordinating framelits, layered them up, and how beautiful is this card. Now the other thing is I stamped the little pink design, and when I was first stamping them, of course the ink was wet, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's too bright, it's too much. But when you put the vellum over the top, it's nice and subtle. I think this would make a really cute baby card or a wedding card. So there's that. I also, you can die cut vellum. So you can see this is a die cut vellum butterfly that goes over the top of a stamped butterfly. Love it. Okay. This is some more of that vellum from the Botanical Vellum stack in the Celebration catalog. And hello, graduation card. How awesome is this? You just switch out whatever your school colors are that you need, and awesome. Love, love, love how that works. And then speaking of that printed vellum, you can make your own printed vellum. Just stamp white ink on here. The trick is to let it dry before you mess with it. Trust me, I know. Okay, so the last one I want to show you is this card because it's so gorgeous. I am just so proud of my special self for the genius that went into making this card. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little full of myself, but let me show you how awesome this card is to make because it's not that hard. If you can scribble outside the lines, you should be able to make this card. So I'm going to start with a piece of crumb cake. This is a half sheet, just cut the long way. And you can tell I've been having a good day because despite washing my hands several times, I still am covered in ink, and that's always a good sign. So I'm going to take my vellum here, and this is a 6.5 by 3.5 inch piece, and I'm going to stamp it with this lovely lilac stamp. I used to have a color that was called that. It's from the set Helping Me Grow. And if this is not a spring set, I don't know what could be. This is so, so, so cool because it is the epitome of spring, right? And it's a really pretty image, which I like. But we're going to get a watercolor effect with vellum. So I'm just going to take and ink this up, okay, and stamp it down onto my vellum like so. And I cut this piece longer than I needed it to be because one of the tricks with vellum is finding ways to adhere it to your card so that you can't see the adhesive. Most of the time you can hide it underneath something. Oh, so pretty. So I'm going to set that aside. Like on this card, I put adhesive under these solid parts of my flowers, and then that way you can't see it. But what I'm going to do here is actually fold it under a layer of white cardstock. Now, this you need to let sit and dry completely. You could also heat it with your heat tool, but sometimes that tends to warp your vellum, and we're going to warp it a little bit already. And unless you're super warped, like as in your brain, you're going to want to just let it sit and dry. And it doesn't take that long. It's just helpful. So I have one here that I stamped a while ago that should be completely dry by now. And I am going to take my markers and check out this color combination because I kind of think it's pretty awesome. So I have Soft Sky, Wisteria Wonder, Rich Razzleberry, and Wild Wasabi. That is a mouthful. These are really pretty colors and they're so springy. So I'm going to start by taking, and maybe I will do this on here so you can see it a little better since it is vellum and white. It's hard to see on my background. Okay, so to do this, I'm just going to color. Now, by the way, I've turned this over. Okay, so I'm coloring on the back side, and I'm just going to color in sort of circles, and you can see I'm not being super careful. This is my style of adult coloring, book coloring, because hello, it's not that detail oriented. I'm not doing it perfectly. I'm doing it just okay. And the beauty is because we're going to watercolor with this a little bit, it doesn't even matter. So that's pretty awesome. Okay. It was really funny. My best friend was here this last weekend and we were talking about my videos, and I was telling her that there's a really fine line between excited and psycho. And I try not to cross that line ever, if at all possible. Okay, so now I did the stems in the green, and now I'm going to add some little accents with my Rich Razzleberry, and you can see I'm being, again, just ridiculously careful. I hope you can detect the sarcasm in my voice. And I'm just adding little lines here. If you wanted to really do them exactly according to the picture, each little petal or whatever on this lilac, you totally could. P.S. I love the smell of lilac and I can't wait till it starts blooming. Okay, because where I live, it is not blooming yet. Now, this is nice and all, and it's okay, but I really wanted it to be just amazing. So we're going to kick it up just a little notch here. I'm going to take an aqua painter out, and I am going to just kind of go over this a little bit, and I'm sort of dabbing / swiping, okay? I don't want to mix the colors too much. I just dabbed off my dirty brush on my cardstock. I have a scrap off camera. And I'm just kind of going and blending these so that the lines aren't so severe. The brush lines are a little bit more naturally blended out. And you can see that looks pretty cool. You can also see that my paper is starting to warp just a little. I'm going to do the stems. Okay. Then, last but not least, I am going to take, actually second to last but not least, I'm going to take the soft sky and I'm going to color all of the background. Okay, so I'm going to go in between. I'm not touching the edges of the images because I don't want to muck up my marker. That's right, muck up my marker. That's what I said. Okay, so I'm just going around the edges. I'm leaving a little border. And that's all there is to that. And then I will blend just like I did the other images. Okay. All right. You can see it's really curling. That's okay. To combat that curling, by the way, we can do a few things. First of all, I could heat it with my heat tool and that'll help a little bit. And then also it will, when it dries, it will uncurl on its own, I mean. So I'm just blending that background color out. And by the way, as I was making this card, if you're wondering how I thought up all this marvelousness, I was holding it over a piece of white cardstock a few different times in between these steps to see how it looked. And then that's how I knew I was getting the look that I was going for. Okay. So there it is. And then when you look on the back, it's so pretty. So pretty. But now look, when I put it over white, this is just a scrap, you can really see the difference. Okay. So pretty. Now, if you don't like the colors or want more color, you certainly can add to it before you go back. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to blow on this for a second to dry it. Don't spit. And if you're asthmatic, be careful. Okay, so I'm going to take my fast fuse and just go across the very top. I have, remember, I think I told you at the very beginning, I left a little extra so that it would curl around the edge. And P.S., I want this off center. I don't know why, I just do. And then I will wrap this around and then really crease it on the vellum. And the nice thing about this vellum is it's got some heft to it so that when you crease it, it stays that way. Then I'll put a little bit more fast fuse at the very bottom here. And now it's attached. How cool is that? It looks so pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. So last thing I need to do to finish this up is I'm going to stamp the saying "much appreciated." I'm going to really ink this up. Now, if you wanted to, you could heat emboss this, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to. That's why I want to get a good amount of ink on there, really stamp it down. There, that looks good. Much appreciated. This comes in the set, by the way, the same set as the lilacs. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to spritz this. I'm going to move this because my spritzing can get a little out of control. And again, I'm just going to flick my pen through my cap. Boom. Okay, that was plenty of that color. So I'm going to do a little wisteria, a little raspberry, and then call it good. And that is it. Oh, so pretty. I will attach this to a layer of plum, perfect plum, and then onto my card, which, by the way, I was supposed to use that size, so this is going to be the wrong size, but that's okay. Anyway, so that is how this card came together. Isn't it gorgeous? Please stop by my website, thecreativitycave.com. I will have the link in the description of this video. You can see all the pictures of all these cards as well as all the supplies I used. Oh, P.S. I put a little Wink of Stella on the top and it's super pretty. And check out all of the stuff that I have there and find out more about my VIP program because I would love to welcome you into the VIP program. And we have celebration going on right now. It only goes till March 31st, so don't miss out. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Bye. Have a great weekend.